Ron Palumbi Jr. of Erie has made it to the TV finals. He'll be in the first match tomorrow as he takes on Dave Usted tomorrow afternoon. And joining us now live is Ron Palumbi Jr. Ron, you had us on the edge of our seat for a while there because it was kind of in question right down to that final match in match play.
Yeah, well, I was on the edge of my seat too. I seemed to make things a little difficult on myself. You know, I couldn't get this thing over and done with. And it came down to the last game, really. You know, I had to put in a solid game to make the show, and, you know, I did it.
It seems as though everyone was rising to the occasion against you and scoring well. You did well as far as the score was concerned, but didn't get a lot of those additional match play points. And overall in match play, you were 10 and 14. How can you explain it?
It was a poor match play record, but I bowled really well. I had the third highest average in the whole tournament. I averaged 227 for the week. But I just think that the guys, knowing this is my hometown, the crowd's behind me, they were after me. You know, it didn't matter if they were bowling bad. When they came to bowl me, they started with big strings of strikes, and there was nothing I could do about it.
Ron, this place is going to go crazy tomorrow because you're going to have that hometown support as we're looking at some of the action from earlier tonight. What's it going to take now? You've got to win every match right from the beginning, and that's a tough challenge.
Well, it is tough to go up the ladder, especially when you're bowling against that competition. And I've done it once, so the last tournament that I won in Phoenix in 1990, I went up the ladder. I started in the number 4 position, so hopefully I can do it again.
Well, we appreciate you being with us and taking the time to be on our broadcast tonight, and best of luck to you tomorrow.
Thanks, John.
Okay, Ron Palumbi Jr. live here at Eastway Lanes. Bob Learn Jr. did not fare as well, not making the top 5 today, as Ron has his fans, as you can hear, on the side. We'll talk a little bit about the rest of the standings, of course, on our 11:30 show coming up after Action Sports. Now we'll take a timeout and back with Panther Saki.
This portion of Action Sports Live from Eastway Lanes, home of the Flagship City Open, has been brought to you by Pizza Hut.
September 10, 1813, this ship, the Niagara, commandeered by Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, one of the greatest naval commanders in our nation's history, led the United States to victory against the British in the Battle of Lake Erie. More than 175 years have passed, and today, reconstructed Niagara has become the symbol for a new battle. The names are different. Mark McDowell, Johnny Petraglia, Bob Benoit, Jess Stayrook, and Ron Palumbi Jr., some of the greatest names in bowling. They have rolled into Erie, Pennsylvania and Eastway Lanes, this week's stop on the PBA Tour, looking for victory in the Flagship City Open. The stage is now set. The top 5 have emerged from today's competition to bowl in Saturday's TV finals, televised live by ABC Sports and WJET TV, beginning at 3 o'clock. They'll be bowling for a shot at $27,000 in the $145,000 Flagship City Open and this coveted trophy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John Evans coming to you live from Eastway Lanes, the site of the Flagship City Open, the 2nd annual event, and boy, what a day it has been. The man to beat tomorrow on the network telecast is Eric Forkel. He finished up at number 1 with a .230 average, winning 16 games in match play, losing 7. Eugene McCune is in 2nd place. And he had a 16-8 record in match play going into the TV finals tomorrow. Walter Ray Williams Jr., who is also a a world horseshoe champion, 5-time champion in that sport, is in 3rd place with an average of 225. Dave Usted is in 4th position, and as mentioned during Action Sports a few moments ago, Ron Palumbi Jr. has made it to the TV finals. He's in number 5. He'll be taking on Dave Usted in the first match tomorrow on ABC Sports. Of course, you can see the action live here on JET TV. It's a complete sellout here at Eastway Lanes. Don't even try to come over because it's been sold out. It sold out in about 10 minutes when they put the tickets on sale several months ago. But all the action will be available to you right here on JET TV, and we're going to bring you lots of action tonight during this next half hour to recap some of the day's activities. We're going to start things off with the match involving Ron Palumbi Jr., the final match of the night, the 8th in match play, when there was still some question as to whether he would make the TV finals. Joining me on the commentary, ABC's Nelson Burton Jr., and let's pick it up as it's Ron Palumbi taking on Walter Ray Williams. We're now joining the match with Ron Palumbi Jr. and Walter Ray Williams. Palumbi with his approach, And he does get the strike. That's a big one. We're joined here on the commentary by ABC's Nelson Burton Jr. Nelson, that about assures him of a spot in the top 5 tomorrow.
Well, you're right, John. Columbia got probably a really good break there as the head pin went to the sideboard and took out the 2 and 8 pins. But Walter Ray Williams Jr. is beating him this game, but Columbia's either going to qualify 4th or 5th, and it really doesn't make much difference because he'll be in the first match tomorrow. Walter Ray, as you watch him here, is locked into the number 3 position. He really can't go anywhere.
And he comes up with a strike as well. Walter Ray made the TV finals last year here at the Flagship City Open, losing to just Stayrook in the championship match.
Well, Walter Ray just backed in last year. A young player missed, Bruce Hamilton missed a single pin spare to let him qualify by 1 pin last year. As you see Walter Ray up here coming towards the end of the game. He has this match somewhat in the hand, and it's really kind of anticlimactic because it really doesn't make a whole lot of difference whether he defeats Columbia or not. He cannot improve his position at this point.
Walter Ray with the strike in the 9th frame.
The key match, John, is really to the right as we see Houston over there battling against John Forst as we're panning over to that. And right now, the only man to knock Houston or Columbia out of the top 5 is Forst. And he is struggling against David Houston over there. So Columbia's looking over at Houston. They're both taking their time, kind of jockeying position as you come down to the final frames. Here's Houston, and it's probably his 9th frame.
So Houston looking good as well here as we're preparing for the TV finals tomorrow, the Flagship City Open. Ron Palumbi now. You can hear the crowd go crazy as they're excited. Ron Palumbi Jr. will be on ABC tomorrow.
John, that's the 3rd consecutive strike for Ron as he comes up in the 10th frame here of the 42nd game. Now, the players bowled 12 games on Wednesday, 14 on Thursday, and this is their 16th game here Friday evening. Total of 42 games. Palumbi has locked himself into either the 4 or 5 position, as we don't have enough graphics at this time to really get it, but it doesn't make any difference. Palumbi has a potential 220 game here coming up. He's working what we call a 2-0 pace. 10th frame for him, and he's locked himself obviously in that first match.
Palumbi with a record in match play over the last 2 days, 10 wins, 13 losses. I know he was a bit disappointed because some of those losses were very close, and missing those bonus points that could have put him indeed in jeopardy.
Well, it could have knocked him out of the top 5, but Ron's made the most of it here this week as you see him in the 10th frame, missing a little bit to the right, leaving the 2-8 combination, but he's assured himself of a place. He can't move up and catch Walter Ray Williams, who went into this match with about a 100-pin lead over Palumbi, and Williams was in arrears from McCune and Forkel by almost 150 pins. So probably the only position to be really changed right now is the number 1 position, and that would be Forkel against McCune, which would be the match to the left of Palumbi.
We're seeing the final match of the night for Erie's Ron Palumbi Jr., 5-time winner on the Pro Bowlers Tour, including a U.S. Open championship. Tomorrow, in front of the nationwide audience, Nelson Burton Jr., what do we expect to see here in Erie? I know a very receptive crowd last year, and they really do enjoy their bowling.
They do, John. It's been a sellout ever since we've been here, this being our 2nd annual event. Palumbi getting a warm round of applause from the fans, knowing he's going to be in the first match tomorrow. Tomorrow, I expect more of the same. We've had excellent scoring here, especially in the early going, before the lanes have a lot of games bowled on them. The players will get a half-an-hour practice on the championship pair, which is 27 and 28. So I look for a good scoring environment tomorrow. We'll have 4 right-handed players and 1 left-handed player, Eric Forkel, who you see bowling in your background right there, and once again, Walter Ray Williams Jr. finishing up his 10th frame.
We will have a grandstand on the lanes for the first time, kind of an experiment tomorrow. Do you expect that to throw the bowlers off by any respect, having the people actually on the adjoining lane?
I don't think so, John. The players are aware of it. The fans won't move that much. In fact, we intend for ABC to open the telecast from somewhere in the stands, so I hope to get one of the Erie folks to maybe help me with a little opening commentary and then start with Chris Schenkel in the first match, which, as it looks right now, is going to be David Houston and the hometown favorite Ron Palumbi.